Hello, my name is Christian DeVito, and this is my presentation on the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission's lawsuit against Patterson-UTI-Drilling Company. The U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, also known as the EEOC, is responsible for enforcing federal laws that make it illegal to discriminate against a job applicant or an employee because of the person's race, color, religion, sex, pregnancy, gender identity, and sexual orientation, national origin, age, disability, or genetic information. It is also illegal to discriminate against a person because the person complained about discrimination, filed a charge of discrimination, or participated in an employment discrimination investigation or lawsuit. Under Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, it is illegal to discriminate against someone on the basis of race, color, religion, national origin, or sex. The law also makes it illegal to retaliate against a person because the person complained about discrimination, filed a charge of discrimination, or they participated in an employment discrimination investigation or lawsuit. From here on out, I will refer to this as retaliation. The law also requires that employers responsibly accommodate applicants and employees' sincerely held religious practices, unless doing so would impose an undue hardship on the operation of the employer's business. The Civil Rights Act of 1991, Sections 102 and 103 amend Title VII and the ADA to permit jury trials and compensatory and punitive damage awards in intentional discrimination cases. In the case of the EEOC v. Patterson-UTI-Drilling Company, the EEOC filed a lawsuit against Patterson-UTI, claiming discrimination, harassment, and retaliation against racial minorities nationwide. The EEOC filed complaints they had engaged in patterns or practices of hostile work environment harassment, disparate treatment, discrimination, and retaliation against Hispanic, Latino, Black, American Indian, Asian, Pacific Islander, and other minority workers at their facilities in Colorado and other states. Patterson-UTI denies the allegations made by the EEOC and does not admit to any unlawful discrimination to any employees based upon their race, color, or national origin, and that they did not retaliate against any employee. They state that the agreement was entered into only to avoid further disruption, costs, delay, and expense of protracted litigation, and any payments or undertakings made based on the agreement should not be construed as admission of liability on the part of Patterson-UTI. This case resulted with Patterson-UTI paying $12.25 million, and they were also required to make a new vice president position to be occupied by a qualified EEO professional who will facilitate, monitor, and report on the company's compliance with certain training, management evaluation, minority outreach, and other remedial measures. A similar case is the EEOC v. Shanska USA Building Incorporated. In January 2015, Shanska USA Building Incorporated, a building contractor located in Parsippany, New Jersey, violated federal law by allowing workers to subject black employees to racial harassment and by firing them for complaining about the misconduct. Shanska served as the general contractor on the Methodist Lebanhura Children's Hospital in Memphis, where the incidents in this lawsuit took place. The class of black employees worked for C1 Incorporated Construction Company, a minority-owned subcontractor for Shanska. An employee hired by C1, we will refer to him as Mr. Knox, was hired to work as a buck hoist operator. From the beginning of his employment on August 5, 2009, Mr. Knox was subjected to racial slurs and hostile behavior from white workers. Mr. Knox complained to his employer many times about the use of racial slurs at the work site, and the employer did nothing about it. A random employee threw a mixture of urine, feces, and blue chemicals from a portable toilet that landed on Mr. Knox's face and torso, and Shanska did not conduct a formal investigation of the incident. Thereafter, Mr. Knox received emergency room treatment, and he was diagnosed with an infection known as conjunctivitis. On or about August 27, 2009, Knox reported several eye pains to Shanska and was seen by a company-provided physician. Other C1 employees reported similar racial harassment in the workplace, and Shanska did little to nothing to help its employees. The EEOC charged Shanska with failing to properly investigate complaints from the buck hoist operators that white employees subjected them to racially offensive comments and physical assault. This resulted in Shanska paying $95,000 to settle a racial harassment and retaliation lawsuit issued by the EEOC, similar to the Patterson-UTI-Drilling company case. Management from both Patterson-UTI-Drilling Company and Shanska USA Building Incorporated violated Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 by not preventing harassment and violence toward these people from the minority groups around the nation. Sections 102 and 103 of the Civil Rights Act of 1991 is what allowed the compensation for the intentional discrimination in these two cases to all these minorities.